Hello and welcome to the Old Realms. If you would like to download the mod, there is a link in the description, as well as my load order of the mods and various other things that I have going on there. Anyway, there are only two factions to choose from. This is going to be a mini-series, and we're going to be playing as a Necromancer. So that means that I'm going to be playing with the vampire counts. I mean, how can I say no to that, right? Anyway, we're just going to randomize a couple of times. I'm hopeful that I'll get someone that looks relatively decent. This guy? Does this guy look relatively decent? Not really, but we're going to go for it nevertheless. And otherwise, now this is where things get a little bit tricky for me, because on the one hand, I would love to be able to choose something that's going to give me decent amounts of early game power, because personally, I feel like, I've been playing the mod a little bit in my off-screen time, by the way, but personally, what I feel like is early game in this mod is pretty difficult. I don't know whether that's just me, but I felt like it was pretty difficult. If you haven't seen the special feature, then I'd highly recommend going and watching that, because it does cover a lot of the gameplay mechanics, with the exception of the spells and the spell casting and stuff like that. I didn't cover that because I didn't create a spellcaster. However, that is going to change in this one. Oh yeah, that is definitely going to change. So I'm actually not entirely sure even what to go for here. I'm thinking we'll probably go for Necromancer's Apprentice. Kind of makes sense. But the obvious point is that we're not really getting any skills here that are going to help me with combat. That's also the reason why I personally feel like the early game is a lot more difficult, because you are gaining very little in terms of skills and attributes that are going to help you that much. For example, I've just gained one focus point in one-handed, one focus point in athletics, and that's pretty much it. Then we can go through to the starting profession, and the starting professions, they don't give you any points at all as far as I'm aware. They might, but they maybe just don't show it here. As you can see, I mean, I seem to be getting some tactics and some smithing and some medicine. So it seems like we are indeed getting some skills, but we are also then not, as far as I'm aware at least, getting any focus points or attribute points, which are obviously one of the main reasons why a starter character, at least in the base game and not a total conversion, are going to become a little bit more powerful. You know, past that. I'm actually wondering, what do these guys get? Oh, okay. A vampiric nobility actually gets quite a bit, and does give the ability to raise dead post-battle or in graveyards. However, you do not gain the ability to summon skeletons in battle, which is obviously the main thing that we actually wanted to see. So oh, that's actually kind of sad. Oh well, never mind. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense that the Necromancer is going to be the only one that can do that. But yeah, we're going to be doing that, and we're going to be playing on Bannerlord preset right here, as we always do when it comes to a series, quote unquote. Anyway, we're going to auto-allocate clan perks and go straight on in to the game after selecting my banner. Yes, I chose a banner ahead of time, by the way, so it would be a little easier for us, and we're going to be going for something like this. I think this seems pretty cool. I also took a look at the name that I chose back all the way back in Fantasy Calradia. Fantasy Calradia is a mod for Warband, if you don't know it, and you can play as a Necromancer or a variety of other kind of spellcasters and various other well, fantasy-based classes in that mod, and it's a very, very good mod, and I'd highly recommend checking it out. Anyway, there we go. That is what we're going to be calling ourselves. Arkane Deathbloom is his name, and Raising the Dead is his game. Okay, yes, there we go. Alright, so this is the Spellbook. This is the new thing that you're going to gain as a Necromancer, and you can see here the variety of the stats you're going to gain as well. There doesn't seem to be anything else along here, but yes, Winds of Magic. You're going to need Winds of Magic to be able to cast spells, and our maximum Winds of Magic is 40 at the moment, and we currently have 0. So obviously, as the hours pass, we're going to be able to gain Winds of Magic back. So this is actually a really nice balancing system. Obviously this is all minor magic that we can learn, but this is necromancy, and this is what we currently have available to us, which is raise the dead, summon 5 skeletons for the duration of any single battle. Now, what kind of stats do the skeletons have, you ask? Well, that's actually something that I was really interested in too, and these are the summoned skeletons. I actually don't know. I haven't taken a look at their stats before now. And apparently they don't have any skills. I don't think that's the case. Surely. Really? Do they have no skills? They might very well have no skills because they have just been raised. But may I just comment on how high quality the models look? And as far as I'm aware, one of the members of the modding team actually did comment on the special feature, and thank you to that person, because they shed a little bit of light on a couple of other pieces of information that I may have missed, and I do appreciate that. And apparently it is true, where every single thing in this mod, with the exception of I think 3 or 4 items, has been created by them, this particular modding team. And I just cannot. That's just so amazing. That is just so incredibly cool. And I mean, this is literally one of the most basic skeletons you're gonna see. But look at how incredibly detailed. I wish I could zoom in further, to be honest. I really wish I could zoom in further, because there are so many little details that you're gonna miss just from not being able to zoom in. But maybe we can take a look at them when they're actually on the battlefield or something like that. So anyway, we're gonna try and recruit as many units as I can get my hands on. I would have loved to have actually fought those Empire Outlaws, to be honest. That would have been really, really good for us. But unfortunately, I'm actually going to need to recruit people before I can do that. But yeah, 10 units would have been absolutely perfect to start off with. And I would very much like to gain a couple of Vampire Nobles. Vampire Nobles are, of course, one of the, well, you can see for yourself. They are one of the strongest units that you can get all the way at the beginning of the game. I'm actually unsure. Can I actually run away from these guys? I think I should be able to. Yep, there we go. We are just about. Whoa, okay, careful, careful. We really don't want to get into a situation where I'm getting murdered already. Let's try and prevent that, shall we? Alright, so here we have our very first battle. Now, this is actually something I would always caution against doing. This is one of those times where I thought to myself, okay, wait a minute. Maybe numbers are going to be okay for us here, maybe they're going to be okay. Maybe we're going to be able to do something here. But unfortunately, these guys are, oh, they have arrows. Yeah, that's actually not very good. They are also in possession of some pretty high tier units. We're gonna just charge straight on in here with our friends. Hopefully we're gonna be able to do something. Ow, okay, I got murdered. Yep, I got absolutely murdered, but thankfully my forces are actually doing okay, amazingly enough. Okay, they might, yes, they have won this. Okay. That is really, really nice. Okay, yeah, so what I was actually going to say is that usually deserter parties have higher tier units included in amongst some of the lower tier ones, and as a result you're going to get these kinds of situations where they're going to do so much damage. Hilariously enough, the high tier unit, or what I thought was the high tier unit, doesn't actually seem to have done anything. And instead, the other ones have done more. Anyway, there we go. We are now going to be able to get some skeletons. And well, they're actually going to have stats now. These guys... Wait a minute. These guys still don't have stats? Are you serious? Well, whatever the case, they have now been summoned. And they can now join us for what we want to be have done to us here. So I'm just going to go forward... like so. We already have a von Karstein vampire, which is really, really nice. And we're also going to have a prisoner. So here's the problem, okay? The problem is going to be when I run out of money. Yeah, that is something that I have faced in my private playthrough as well. Basically, I just wanted to go through the starting time, pretty much. The starting time in any playthrough, especially when you have noble units to recruit, is a very difficult one, and you're going to need to get a bit lucky But you could also, you know, exhibit a little bit of skill as well. But thankfully, I have, well, shall we say, I'm a bit lucky when it comes to, you know, getting tasks and stuff like that. But unluckily or unfortunately, I am not very good at the other stuff. In other words, the stuff that requires any semblance of skill. So, oh, wait a minute. Okay, I'm actually not entirely sure if I can even do this. I can't buy, you see. I cannot buy the thing that I need to buy to be able to complete this task and gain a little bit of extra cash. So I am at a bit of a loss. I might be able to do the Brigand's Quest. I highly doubt it, because I'm probably going to need... He's actually saying yes. Okay. Ooh, sir, you're taking a big risk. I love the environment, by the way. This is all custom as far as I'm aware as well. So that's really cool. As far as I'm aware, the person from the modding team actually said that most of the villages, if not all of the villages, are done in terms of scenes. The taverns are done, the battlefields are done, and all that stuff at the moment. Obviously, there are going to be different biomes and stuff like that as time goes on and as they expand outward, but that's the reason why, you know, there's only 2 factions, because they want to make sure that everything is working with these two, and I very much appreciate that work ethic, or that, you know, the method of work. I think that's actually pretty cool. Anyway, let me see. I would like to recruit. Okay, there we go. This is going to be my last recruit, basically, and I'm not going to be able to do anything else. And now I just have to... Oh, 21 Chaos Cultists. Really? Oh, Empire Outlaws? Okay, what are the Empire Outlaws like? They have Empire Outlaw Captains. Okay, yeah. So Empire Outlaw Captains, as far as I am aware, are pretty decent. Yeah. They are pretty decent. So we might have some issues here, but they are coming towards us. I might just want to take advantage of the fact... I think I'd probably do better. Oh, there's a lot of Empire Outlaws, actually. I would do so much better fighting Chaos Cultists. Okay, I'm gonna follow the 8. That's pretty much all I can do, to be honest. I'm really worried. You know, we were able to do, you know, 6 versus 6, but maybe we just got a little bit lucky, and we weren't facing anything as damaging, or at least I don't think we were facing anything as damaging, because that guy did no damage at all. The Empire Deserter Sergeant, or whatever he was called. But whatever the case, let's head on in and see what we can do here, because I'm pretty happy that I have figured out how to actually cast spells as well, because beforehand, when I first started playing, I had no idea, you see, because the keybind is not actually listed in the keybinds menu, and as far as I'm aware, my download itself did not have a PDF, because the modding person said in their comment that apparently there is supposed to be a PDF in the download, but I couldn't find it. It was just the 4 modding files, and that was it. So I'm either stupid, which it could very well be the case, or it just was not in there. So I'm not entirely sure what to even say about that. But hopefully my no, don't kill my skeletons. How dare you? Do not kill my skeletons, sirs. These guys are doing so much damage. Did you see that? Okay, well, they did actually kill a bunch of our skeletons, which I really do not appreciate. But actually, let me just summon some more skeletons before we quit here, because here's the thing: I'm actually not entirely sure if the amount of skeletons that you gain at the end is reliant on how many enemies you killed or how many you summoned. It seems like how many enemies you killed potentially. I think that might be the case, but whatever. Well, we're going to be gaining some roaming undead here, and the roaming undead warriors as well. So let's just continue to try and get those. I would like to gain these guys. Yeah, that's exactly what we're doing. We're going to get some ranged units from there, and we also have some prisoners too. I'm actually wondering whether I can sacrifice... Maybe this is a... I don't know, maybe this is a game feature or a game mechanic that they might consider adding for the Necromancer. If they haven't already. I actually have not explored that fact. But what about sacrificing prisoners, or some kind of, in some kind of ritual potentially to gain skeletons. That might actually be a pretty cool way of doing things. But obviously this is just my my idea. Don't know whether it's actually any good. But yeah, let me see here. I would like to join that army if at all possible, but I'm not sure whether that's worth it, you see. Because joining that army might be worth it for a variety of reasons. But I'm not entirely sure. I am still very injured, so this is going to be a bit tricky. Wait a minute. This guy... Oh, they have some good units. Look at that. They have some good units. Okay. I'm actually not entirely sure. I'd like to stay really close by to these guys as well, because if we can stay close to them and then go on to fight the Empire Deserters at the same time, that would be fantastic. I think the Chaos Cultists are going to be easier than the Empire. I know that sounds a bit weird. I mean, I personally feel like it sounds a bit weird, but the Empire people do seem to be a bit scary. But maybe that's just me. I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, yeah, no, I was actually going to think about locking my units, but I don't think I need to do that. Anyway, let's go and attack these guys. I'm a bit worried about fighting the Chaos Cultists, to be honest. I know in the special feature we did actually attack them and do surprisingly well. Or we did surprisingly well against them. Not entirely sure how that even happened, to be honest. But anyway, hello there, Mr. Summoned Skeleton. You've got a very cool... Wow, this is custom made. It looks so high quality. What's going on here? Yeah, well, yeah, as I've already said, I feel like the models are really, really well done. And we're just going to continue summoning skeletons. You know what I do need to do? I need to make it so that my skeletons are in a different tag. So I think I will probably end up doing that soonish. Maybe after this, I will change them to a fodder tag or something like that, because they are going to be very useful for distracting the opponent. They're going to be very useful for absorbing damage and so on and so forth. I just killed a Dark Soul of Chaos. Alright, good work, sir. Good work. Yeah, so also, I'm actually kind of surprised that I didn't think of this myself. But look at that. Oh, that's actually really cool that we just lost skeletons and no unit that actually has an impact on the fight too much. So that's pretty cool in my opinion. But yes, anyway, I'm kind of surprised at myself that I didn't realize that going into the Tavern would actually be an option, because that's what you used to be able to do in Fantasy Calradia as well. And taverns would generally have interesting and useful NPCs. And I suppose because I've been playing mostly the base game of Bannerlord, where you generally don't need to go into the tavern at all. So yeah, that's kind of the reason why, I suppose, because I literally just have not needed to do that. Anyway, we're going to be upgrading these guys. 120 gold. I really don't have any additional cash, so me completing this task is going to be very, very welcome. And we're just going to get some upgrades as well. And I would like to be able to participate in a tournament as well, if I can. So first of all, what I'd like to do is, I would very much like to join the vampire counts, but I don't think they're going to allow me to do that, are they? They're really not going to allow me to do that. I would wholeheartedly assume they won't. But what if they do? What if they're friendly? And what if they allow... No, they're not going to be friendly, are they? I mean, generally they're going to be friendly, but they're going to be like, you simpleton, you cannot possibly hope to join the overwhelming might of the vampire counts. You can maybe join as a thrall or something along those lines that's rather expendable. Yes, that sounds like a good idea, doesn't it? Yeah, it sounds like the kind of thing they'd say at the very least. Okay, so now let me just see if I can summon these. I think the summoning circle actually... The color of the summoning circle, does that actually matter? I'm not entirely sure, to be honest, because I've seen that before where I've gotten the summoning circle out and it's red, and then I think to myself, okay, well maybe I need to do something about that. Maybe I need to, you know, go to a different location on the battlefield or something. I don't know. There's going to be a bunch of intricacies that I'm going to need to learn and get better at utilizing, which is obviously, you know, how you get better at these things, you know. You just try things out and see what happens. Anyway, we did lose 2 skeletons, which is kind of unfortunate, but we are gaining some much-needed renown. And experience by the look of things, because Arkane has just advanced in level, which is very nice to see. Okay, so best thing that I can do right now is find another task. I know, shocking, isn't it? Yes, absolutely shocking. And then the other thing that we need to do is find a tournament. There is actually a task going on here, but these are all for gangs. Gang leaders are kind of decent to do work for, but most of the time they're not that good. Anyway, gonna ransom my prisoners for 170. Only 170. I actually wonder whether I can do anything else with them. That's the thing. I can just recruit them. That seems to be it, because I'm not going to be able to use necromancy, shall we say, on the world map, I don't think. Anyway, let's spec into something, shall we? What should I spec into? Well, I probably want to spec into athletics, and I probably want to spec into one-handed. There is no necromancy tree just yet. I'm actually wondering whether they are planning on making that a thing. I know that maybe intelligence makes a difference. I'm not entirely sure about that. But I guess the best thing I can do maybe is just to max out medicine. I don't know, really. I kind of want to improve my combat skills as well, because you never know when a poor old necromancer is going to need to defend himself. Gonna level up intelligence as well while we're at it, I suppose. And there we have it. Okay, so let's just go in here and see if I can sell some stuff, because no doubt we've got a little bit of gear, and I'm going to be able to sell it for a decent amount. Nothing too extravagant, unfortunately. Actually, not bad. 1,300, pretty nice. Look at this, though. There's actually a vampiric scythe available. I can't wait until we actually get to use one of those. Otherwise, there doesn't seem to be anything too amazing here. But I'm very intrigued about going into the tavern. So let's actually do that. Let's ransom the prisoners while we're at it too. And let's go into the tavern and see what's going on there. I'd very much like to... Oh my. Okay, hello. They have done... I mean, you already know what I'm going to say. They have done an amazing job. Look at this. Wow. That is really cool. Yeah, I gotta say, you know, I'm out of practice with making these special features, you know, the special feature video that I made before did not go into the tavern. And usually I would have gone into the tavern, you know. I did go into the streets, but obviously I don't think they're done yet, so that was not really very good for me to do that. But let's have a look here. Who's this? I don't know who this is. Oh, it's a companion. Oh, can you join me, sir? 2,000. Oh, he needs 2,000. Oh, I really want him to join. I really, really badly want him to join us. Okay, you know what we're going to need to do? We're going to need to be so stupid right now. We are going to need to be stupid and go into the arena. I'm livid right now that I don't have enough money to be able to... wow, the arena is done too. Look at that. That is looking mighty fine. Anyway, let's have a look. Hello, Mr. Tournament Master. How are you doing, sir? Alright, so let's have a look here. Yeah, I don't have any more questions. I'd like to participate. Please don't give me something stupid. Oh, they gave me something really bad. Okay, this is going to be really, really awful. I'm not going to do very well here. I gotta say, I'm loving the vibe of the environment, though. Definitely loving that. Nice headshot. Or shall we say, neck shot, and I'm getting murdered. Ow. Yeah, there's not much that I'm going to be able to do from that point onward. It seems like the best idea for me, considering I'm literally a necromancer, is probably not to go through here. Let's not go through this particular pain, and instead what we're going to do is we're going to go and attack these Empire Outlaws. I guess that seems like the best idea. Is it, though? Because, wait a minute, let's just be a bit careful here. I don't really want to get anyone helping me either. I'd like to go in by myself. There we go. Okay, yeah, that's looking good. We are going to take a chance on this as well, by the way. Look at how close we were to actually recruiting this guy, too. Ooh, that's painful. If only I was just slightly better at fighting or something like that. That would have actually been kind of nice. But Yeah, I mean, generally, it was pretty dark, and I couldn't really see where the enemies were coming from. But, of course, it is indeed, well, primarily undead town, so of course it's going to be dark, right? Yeah. Anyway, let's just... Oh, yeah, I didn't do the fodder thing. Yeah, that's something that I'm going to do quite often, where I'm going to forget to do something, but... Hopefully you'll forgive me for that. Anyway, let's just continue summoning these guys. These Empire Outlaws do seem to be much worse than the others that we've seen. The Empire Deserters are going to be a lot harder, I think, for us to defeat. Yeah, look at that. We just stomped these guys really, really easily. So it seems like Empire Outlaws are basically just regular looters and bandits, I guess. Yeah. They do have a captain unit with them, but that's basically it. Doesn't seem like we really need to worry too much about that. And we are going to be gaining some undead as well after the fact, so that's quite nice. And we can get these guys. We do have some additional gloves to upgrade ourselves with, and I think I will now be able to afford this guy. I hope he's still there. He is still there. Whew, okay, I am very much looking forward to this. Oh my. Okay. At 250. Okay, I literally have almost no money after talking with this fellow, so this is not good. I can use someone like you. Aha, 2,000. There we go. Do you have good stats though? I didn't even check his stats. I was just so excited by looking at his armor that I thought to myself, oh yes, we must get this guy. So let's actually have a look. He's got some pretty good stats. They're not the best, but he's got some pretty good stats, and I am actually really, really intrigued as to whether I can steal his stuff. That's also partially the reason why I thought to myself, maybe I should, you know, do a little bit of pilfering here and there. And it seems like that is actually working quite well for us. I'm actually wondering whether I can even... Oh, I do apologize, sir. I do apologize. Yes. Alright, here we go, here we go. Let's just do this, and there we are. Oh, that's looking nice. Isn't that looking real nice? I mean, technically what we could do with this armor as well is if we really badly wanted to, we could sell some of it and gain some, you know, gain some money back that way. But he's already got... I'm not going to take his horse, okay? I'm not going to take his horse because personally, I feel like he probably needs it, right? Right? Yeah, I'm not going to take it. I'm going to resist the urge, okay? I'm going to resist the urge because we are generally going to be casting. But look at this armor. Oh, again, I really wish I could zoom in here, but I can't for some reason. Oh well, never mind. That's a base game thing. Anyway, let's move on. We've now got some new armor, so I am now feeling very confident indeed. And that, you know what that means? That means I need to be even more careful than usual. Because I am someone that... I tend to over-exude myself and overextend, you know, various other overs and get myself killed in the process. So let's try not to have that happen. I'm going to go for self-promoter. I don't know how old I am, but I'm going to go for self-promoter because we're probably going to be doing a tournament at some point, and getting a little bit of influence here and there might actually make sense. We're going to be doing character's healing rate and improving our movement speed as well. Bear in mind that I'm not entirely sure whether I'm going to continue using a shield either. I'm actually thinking that maybe we'll go for kind of like a Necromancer duelist kind of thing. I'm actually not... No. Wait a minute. Do you think I can actually... I might be able to... I don't know. Should I... Ooh, can I beat those guys? Can I beat two groups of cultists? I'm actually not sure about that. Anyway, these skeletons are going to have to... How do I change their tag again? Wait a minute. Can I even do that? There must be a way to do that, right? Oh, now... Infantry. Yeah, they are infantry, but how do I change that? I'm actually wondering whether I can even change that now. Am I being stupid? Yeah, I think I probably am. There is a way to change it, I'm sure, but now I can't remember what it is. I think I did attempt to actually change this at some point beforehand, and I found that you couldn't. So maybe you can't actually change them from that. Okay, I'm gonna have to do some testing in my own time because I obviously don't want to. Oh no, get out of here, you. Okay, fine. You can take those guys on. I'm gonna take on 2 bands. Okay, apparently not 2 bands. I really wanted to get the 2 of them in there. Ooh, hello there, sir. I will protect you. I will go into this battle and I will protect this caravan. Or not, as the case may be. Yeah, that's one of the things that's extremely irritating about having vassals that are really, really good actually participate in these particular fights, because they basically are just going to absorb all of the experience, and you're not really going to be able to see too much. But we do get to see my armor in the darkness, which doesn't really help us. But we do get to see some of the wraiths as well, which I got to say I really love those. I would love to be able to get a couple of those, if at all possible. Anyway, we're just going to tell my forces just to straight up charge. I mean, obviously this is really not going to lead us anywhere because, well, yeah, I mean, it's pretty obvious why, right? So let me just speed things up real fast, get this out of the way. What is that? Look at that magic. Did you see that? It's like a blood shield or something like that. I don't even know. I have no idea what it is. But yeah, apparently there is an NPC. Oh, this was actually very worth it for me to do, because we're gaining some skeletons from this. Okay, yeah, scratch what I said before about it being not so worth it to do that. But yeah, apparently it was. That was remarkably surprising. I actually thought to myself that we weren't going to get anything at all. But no, we actually did get something. So pretty cool to see that at least. And let's ransom these. What? Another one? This guy's even better than the last one. Oh, I really wish I had money. Okay, wait a minute. I'm going to go into the arena real fast, because what I'd like to do is actually ask the tournament master. There is one at this place and that place. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce them, because you know me. I'm pretty bad at that. So, okay, let me see if I can remember those town names. They're pretty long, so, you know, my short-term memory is that of a, well, not a goldfish, because, contrary to popular belief, goldfish actually do have decent memories. It's just a saying for some reason. I don't know. Anyway, point is, let's have a look here. This, oh, over there and over there. Okay, this is not looking good, but this one's the closest, so I might be able to make it there in time, and also fight a couple of things along the way. Oh... Hello there. Yes, come to me. Oh, yeah. There we go. That is what I'm talking about. Very nice indeed. We've got 2 cultist parties, and I'm ready to do this. Let's do it. All right. This is looking real good. Let's get out my skeletons, or some of them straight away. And yeah, I wholeheartedly respect the choice. What? They have a necromancer. Did you see that? He summoned some skeletons. How dare you, sir? How dare you? You are not allowed to do that. I am the only one allowed to summon skeletons in this land. Let us murder the enemy necromancer. If I can. 113 damage, he didn't die. Wow. That's actually kind of impressive. Anyway, it does seem as though the clickety-clackety of all of our wonderful, wonderful bone-like entities that are helping us here are completely slaughtering our opponent, which is always nice to see. But, yes. I was about to say, it is nice that they do give you a timer and a cooldown for your Raise the Dead spell, because in the past, spells, they would kind of not tell you that. Obviously, that's in Warband, so it's a completely different engine and everything, but I really appreciate the shall we say, the finishing touches, the quality of life improvements that this modding team has very, I don't even know if it was painstaking, but I really appreciate the effort that they've gone to make it possible to see those kinds of, those kinds of pieces of information, because it makes so much difference to the enjoyable nature of the game. Really does. And I know that, generally these kinds of things are overlooked quite often. And I'm talking about quality of life improvements. Some people may be thinking, you know, oh, this quality of life improvement, I don't really care about this. And yeah, sure, you might not care about it, but on the whole, you're going to find that it improves your gameplay experience significantly. And while it might not be, you know, another faction or something like that being added to the game, a quality of life improvement, like adding a cooldown or whatever, is going to take significantly less time to do that. And in my opinion, in comparison to doing, you know, obviously, you know, implementing an entire faction is going to take a very, very long time in comparison to adding a timer, but it's still all effort, and these people are doing it completely through passion. And that is something to be applauded. It really is. You know, doing something like that as a hobby, basically, it's a hobby, right? Is really quite something. And it's so good. It's so good. I mean, look at this. We can now see my armor. Yes, my armor. It's my armor now. Let's just say that it's my armor now, and it looks amazing. Let's just say that. It looks really, really cool. And we're going to just tell my people just to charge in. I don't think I really need to do too much else. I really would like to get more money, and that's exactly what I'm going to try to do. I will try to get some more money, and what we'll do is, in the next episode, we'll try to find the location of a Magister, and that's the fellow that we need to speak to in a tavern to be able to learn additional skills. And hopefully I'm going to have enough money to be able to bet on myself in some of the tournaments as well. Because if I can actually do a tournament, and obviously this is going to be a very big if, because I'm not going to be able to use spells. I am a very weak physical-based character. So generally I'm going to be at a disadvantage from the very start. But that's the challenge, you know, that's the challenge, and we're going to see how that goes. I don't have any money to upgrade, but I'm just going to continue upgrading our forces as much as I can, because we are going to be at a town relatively soon, this one right over here, and I'm going to be selling all of the gear that I've just gotten. I really, by the way, have to applaud the modding team for another thing. I know I'm gushing a little bit, maybe a little bit too much here, but I would very much like to say that I super appreciate the amount of bandit-based units that are in and around the area. Because while that can be very dangerous to a new character just starting the game, it is so incredibly necessary for the economy to get going of any character at all. It's so necessary, because if you're not getting money, or not getting experience, or not getting any of these things, not getting loot or whatever, then it's going to be stagnant. There's going to be a huge amount of static things going on, and you're just not going to be able to do anything from that point onwards. So having a bandit population that is actually numerous enough to sustain that, that is fantastic. That's really, really good. Okay, so this guy's actually a wizard. Oh, okay, so it seems like most companions need 2,000. Now, I don't know about you, but I think this guy looks really funny. I don't know why, but I think he looks really funny. Not to say that he doesn't look cool, because let's face it, I think his staff looks amazing. This is literally rotating with runes around it, and they are also rotating. I mean, now, here's the thing. There's no way I would have expected... Why is this guy... Why is he... Is he wearing my armor? No, he's wearing his own armor. Can he wear his armor in here? As a civilian? If that is indeed the case, then I need to take that for my civilian self too. Anyway, the point is, all these little things, and all these little features, and little aesthetics, and cosmetic changes and improvements, they are making so much difference to the immersion of the game as well, which really makes everything stand out so nicely. Anyway, yeah, it does seem as though he is the one using this. Okay, yeah, so we're gonna have to do something about that, unfortunately, for him. So I'm gonna just swap these around, because let's face it, we are actually going to need this stuff. So let's just do this right here. I don't think you can actually do that. No, you can't. Can you? Oh no. I totally messed him up right now. Oh dear. Okay, well, it seems like Arkane is going to be naked then. I feel like I should pay a penalty. Don't you think? I feel like I should pay a penalty to... Wait a minute. Can I give this... I can get... Okay. Okay, there you go. He just gained some additional gear. Technically, I could sell this stuff, right? Yeah, technically I could sell this stuff, but I'm actually going to want my companion to do something in these fights. So that's what I'm going to do instead. Hopefully that's actually going to work for fighting and combat and stuff like that. I actually don't know, but that looks really, really good anyway. And it seems like it is going to work for fighting. So another 500 gold is coming my way with my old gear that I just sold. And I think my army's doing pretty well right now. Yeah, we're doing pretty nicely. We've got some nice level ups right here. We've got a bunch of mounted units. I'm not sure. Oh, we've got 2 Blood Knights. Wow. These are not even the maximum level. They are not even the maximum tier. That's really kind of crazy. But otherwise, yeah, we're going to be making our way on to the tournament, which is over here. But we're going to be doing that in the next episode. This is a halfling town, by the way. Well, it's owned by halflings, so I'm not entirely sure if there are going to be any halfling lords or something like that there. I don't think there will be. I don't think they've added that to the game. I think there's just men and vampires at the moment. But whatever the case, I'm going to be looking forward to participating in the tournament, and hopefully we're going to be able to achieve a victory against all the odds, you know. You know how it is. Anyway, if you'd like to download the Old Realms, there is a link in the description. And otherwise, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.